2026. We are here for a brand new year, a brand new vlog. I still don't have a name for what I'm going to do for my vlogs, but I am going to continue daily vlogging at least for a few more days. If I continue to like it, who knows? Maybe this channel will be daily vlogs. I'm not sure. I can tell you guys this. I am so excited for the new year, and I encourage each and every one of you to look forward and not backwards. Yesterday, as I was reflecting upon 2025, I tended to focus on the challenges in 2025 instead of the good things that happened. While last year was a tough year for me, mental health wise, with losing people in my family, and with dealing with things such as probate for my parents' house, which I'm still dealing with, it was such a good year. It really was. Like, we get so stuck in the negative mindsets and we worry about what's going wrong instead of focusing on what we have. And so I took the time to reflect yesterday. And one of the things that I did yesterday for my budgeting channel, and maybe you guys saw this, was I went ahead and took a look at what our actual debt journey looked like last year, because this girl has goals, right? And we really focused on what we wanted to do, where we wanted the money to go, and we paid off so much debt. I am so excited to say that in 6 months, we paid almost $20,000 off our mortgage. And in 6 months, Bridger paid off his truck. That's right, everybody. So the only debt that Bridger and I together have is this home. And of course, what a beautiful home it is. I remember the first Vlogmas that I did. And I was like, I can't do Vlogmas. I can't decorate my house and show it because I don't have a great big huge house. I don't have a new house. My bathroom is horrendous. It is the original bathroom from, I don't know what year this house was built, in the 60s. And of course, they did some work to it, and whoever did it did a shoddy job. And we've left it as is because we're going to have to gut the whole thing, and it's our only bathroom. So that's not just a weekend remodel project. That, you know, to take it all the way down to the studs is going to be quite a bit. But it reminds me that so often in our lives, we're not happy with what we have for whatever reason, right? It could be physical assets. It could be money. It could be vacations. It could be the life that we portray online or what our friends or our neighbors have. You know, it's like having a vehicle that's fully paid for. Bridger wants a brand new truck. He wants a nice dually diesel truck. That stuff ain't cheap, right? He wants it, but he realizes that what he has right now is plenty because we have goals. Now, could we be closer to having all of our debt paid off if we didn't take vacations? Of course we could, but that's not how we're choosing to live our debt adventure, our debt journey. We want to be able to experience life. Right now, you guys, I am thinking about a vacation in March. There's also a big development happening in April, which I am going to share on this channel. It is going to be raw. It is going to be personal, and it's not always going to be pretty, but I'm going to share it with you guys. That's one thing I've decided to share on this channel. And that journey is not going to be easy. And it is part of our financial journey as well. My tea is really hot. I have to set it down. I have to set my teacup down. I tasted it and it does taste yummy. So what does this year hold for Snow Gardener 307? What does this year hold for the Johnston family? I don't know, you guys. I have dreams. I have aspirations. As I told you, looking at as far as fun things, looking at a vacation in March for possibly Hawaii. We already have a vacation booked to Honduras in September. And I swore up and down that I was never going to vacation in December again, because as a creator, December on YouTube is one of the months that you can create things like what we just did with Vlogmas. It's also one of the higher paying months because advertisers pay more to be on your channel. And of course, you know, my channel is a baby channel, but it doesn't matter, right? And we've got the 3 channels. And so, of course, this channel right here, one goal that I do have for this channel, when I first started this channel, I said, I don't care if this channel gets monetized or not. And then I spent the past 32 days pouring my heart and soul and time and energy into this channel and going, okay, was I lying to myself? Was I lying to you guys saying I don't care if it gets monetized? Because I do. And while everything doesn't revolve around money, money is what allows me to take those trips. Money is what is allowing me to have that surgery that I talked about in April. So I would like to get this channel monetized. I would also like to restructure my budgeting channel and figure something out because my budgeting channel is not growing. It is actually getting smaller. In December, I looked at the stats really quick yesterday. In the whole month of December, I lost 2 followers, so I didn't gain any. My followers actually got smaller. My income has decreased steadily on that channel since March of last year. So it's been doing a step down every single year. So I need to do some reflecting. I need to figure out what I want to do on my channel. I love my Back to the Basics, where I'm helping other individuals with their budget and their debt journey and sharing it with other people. My goal on that channel is to help inspire others and let them know that they too can do what I've done if they want to. Maybe they don't want to, but I say this often. 5 years ago, actually coming up on 6 years ago, I was looking, oh, the Yorkies barking at their shadows. So almost 6 years ago, it was COVID, right? 2020. The country was shutting down. Things were happening. And in March of 2026, I started, actually, probably in February of 2026, I started looking for answers to my financial mess that I had gotten myself into the hole that I was digging myself every single month. While I was able to pay my bills, while I was able to live my life, I was doing so on credit. And as I was watching the country and the world shut down, it scared me. I think a lot of us during that time probably had fear in our lives going, okay, what does the future hold? Where am I going? Where have I been? Where do I want to go? And so I started looking on YouTube and I found some YouTubers that really inspired me. I had tried the Dave Ramsey plan in my life before when I had a couple toddlers. I failed astronomically at it. It did not work. I just didn't do it, right? And the program didn't work for me. I consider myself a failure at that point, and that's okay. It's okay to say that we failed. So many people are so afraid to admit that they failed. It's okay. There have been many failures in my life in the past year, in my adult life, in my, teenage life, I mean, failure as a kid, stuff like that. And so I still followed Dave Ramsey. I followed the concept. I understood the concept of a cash-based budget. I liked that concept. But one thing with Dave Ramsey that I couldn't follow along was doing nothing but paying debt. I just couldn't bring myself to get there. And you guys know, if you watch my budgeting channel and you've watched my journey, that is not where our journey was. We didn't just focus on debt. Then I found the Budget Mom, and I absolutely love the Budget Mom. She is such an inspiration. She had done so much as a single parent, and of course now she is married and has another child. So exciting to watch that as well. She created this business and she created her own path. And so very much admired her. Another one that I had found that was very relatable, a smaller YouTuber, not big or anything, but she resonated with me, was Jessie. And her channel used to be J Whacker. She's now Jessie in Progress. And I just loved how real she was. She wasn't somebody big. She wasn't pretending things. And they still are working on debt. They now own a business, so life has changed. They own a home. And just watching people be real. I'm not one to follow influencers that are big and follow trends and do all of the stuff because that's what's popular. And I don't want myself to be there either. And of course, but one thing that I'm sitting there thinking about as I watch other people on YouTube and I watch different journeys, because now that my budgeting journey is where it's at, I don't watch as much budget related content as I used to. So I find myself searching for other content, such as content on retirement and investing. That's where I'm at in my life now. I am going to be 50 this year, you guys, and I'm far behind on my retirement. So the mortgage is important to get paid off. And there are a lot of people that tell me, oh, you should focus on retirement, not on your mortgage, because the money that it's going to make. For me, paying the mortgage off is going to be a mental win. And that is why Bridger and I have decided to do that first. And so then we also have my Snow Gardener 307 channel, which I love. I love doing grocery hauls. I love cooking. I love sharing ways to make a pantry and save money every single week, every single month for you and your family. Because this is one thing we do have control of. And there are so few things that we have control of in our life. I can't control how much groceries are, but I can control how I use them, how I choose to purchase them, how I create meal plans with them. And that is one thing that just brings passion within me. And of course, food insecurity is one of those things that I grew up with as a child. And I believe that my mom ingrained that in me. My mom did not have a big pantry. My mom was not a canner. My mom was not a cooker. But I remember from a very young age, my mom teaching me that, for example, if cereal was on sale, you didn't just buy one box, you bought 2 boxes so that you had another box for another week. And like I said, she didn't have 15 boxes of cereal in her pantry like I do right now, but that was ingrained very early on. Also, in my adult life, there have been times when I remember when my daughter was newborn, looking through my ashtray for gas money. This is back in the day when cars had ashtrays, right? And I never smoked, so it was always full of change. So I'm digging quarters out and change so I could get $5 in gas, because when my newborn daughter was born, she had some medical complications and, she was expensive. But anyway, my ex-husband worked at a local company making $10.50 an hour. I did not go back to work. So we had to pinch corners. We had to cut corners. We had to figure those things out. And so that is one of the things with the food journey, that food insecurity, is I always want to have food. I want to have food for myself. I want to have food for my family. If something happens, like my son got laid off this last year, I took him grocery shopping. I want people to not be hungry. Now, trust me, your girl ain't hungry. Sometimes, your girl overeats, which happened in the holidays as well. That's another aspect of my life, right? My physical health. So we all set these New Year's resolutions and most of us fail at them. I'm not going to set any New Year's resolutions because for me, that's not how it works. What I am going to do is I am going to make a promise to myself that before my surgery in April, I am going to do some sort of physical activity every single day. I'm not saying I'm going to the gym. I'm not saying I'm running 5 miles a day. I'm not saying anything like that. What I am saying is that maybe when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to do 10 push-ups and 10 sit-ups. I am going to walk around the block. I am going to do jumping jacks. My back doesn't like jumping jacks, so I don't know how many of those I'm going to do. I'm going to do a plank. I am going to do crunches. I'm going to do something. Maybe I'm just going to do, lift up a couple jars and do some of this, right, with them. And that is one thing with me, that if I set these lofty goals for my physical activity, I most of the time struggle with it. And while doing something active every day may not seem like a big deal to some people, it is to me, because I am very much a workaholic and I have workaholic tendencies. And I can get into my office and I can spend 5 hours in my office without leaving. right? Maybe I have to go to the bathroom. Maybe I get a glass of water, but I just sit there. And so that is one struggle with me. That is a struggle that I have found with retiring from law enforcement, is that, of course, in law enforcement, I was walking all of the time. I was doing different things all of the time. And so now, coming up in April, it will have been a year since I've retired. All right, you guys. So today's vlog is going to have a few things in it. We are going to talk about the hippo tree. That's right, everybody, the hippo tree. Yes, I know it's January 1st, but we're going to talk about the hippo tree. Like I said, in my family, Christmas is still going because we haven't celebrated with my children. And so we're going to do the hippo tree. For dinner, I'm going to go ahead and make myself the Big Mac salad. So I'm going to bring you guys along for that. And then beyond that, oh my goodness, Athena, that was a big yawn. Beyond that, I might, talk a little bit more in my office, but I just wanted to start the new year off. I wanted to start this new vlog series off and just be real. That is my number one goal for 2026, is to continue to be real, to continue to be myself, to show you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. And boy, there's going to be some ugly coming up. I might also, if I think about it, I might show you guys some of my searches for going to Hawaii. And that will just depend if I have time. Like I said, right now, my top priority this morning is I send out a monthly email to my paying members on YouTube. It includes discount codes. It also includes printables, a printable budget kit. It's always a month ahead, so they are now going to be getting the February kit. And also the printable kit. We are still working on that. I did get that out to my members, and I've gotten a little bit of feedback from a couple people, but not many. So it is one of the projects that is a work in progress. And for my business, I have some great plans for 2026. All right, you guys, let me get working. Let me stop talking, and I'll see you a little bit later. Well, it's now 7:39 p.m. I've been in my office all day long. It was a fabulous day, though. I was able to get caught up on stuff that I got behind on last month. All of my members should have received an email, except for I think I have one new member that I don't have an email for, but I had to create multiple things because they didn't get an email last month with savings challenges. So I had to go through and do documents or creations for last month and this month. I also was able to copy and paste the formatting from the January budget kit into the February budget kit. And of course, I don't have the whole budget kit done, but I did do 3 more pages. Got that sent to them. I'll continue to work on the fillable February budget kit throughout this month, but I wanted to send them what I had. My goal for that to be done is by January 10th. So that gives me 9 more days. I don't want to sit in my office this long every day because that is just insane. Also, I am running a sale on Etsy for 20% off of everything. This is a pretty big sale for me. So if you want anything, this is going to be the time to get it. It's going to run through the 4th. So you guys will get to see this on Vlogmas. And my Etsy shop, just in case you guys didn't know, is SnowGardener307. Right? I'll put a link down below. And if you use the link, it saves me on Etsy fees. So that's always a good thing. So I need to go make my Big Mac salad. Also, just letting you guys know, I don't know if I'm going to get the hippo tree done today like I wanted to. Mr. Snow Gardener, I'm not sure if he's going to be home, but I want to get that tree done for him. It's very special to me. He doesn't care, but I care. Kind of like he didn't care if I did his sugar cookies or not. And that was a me thing, not a him thing. So let's go ahead and go in the kitchen. Let's do our Big Mac salad. The meat is already cooked. I need to chop up some lettuce, some pickles, some onions, and I need to whip together that dressing. That dressing is so yummy, and it truly is easy. But right now at 7:41, I'm going, I'm really hungry. I probably should have done dinner hours ago, but I was in the flow, right? In the flow. So let's go to the kitchen. All right, you guys, I got my dressing out. I will include the recipe down below. So I need mayonnaise, mustard, dill pickles. I need onion. So mayonnaise, mustard, dill pickles, an onion. I know we need smoked paprika. Smoked paprika is the key, you guys. This is also a keto recipe, so it calls for swerve as a sugar substitute, but I'm not on keto, so this girl is just going to grab the sugar. Let's see what else. Mayonnaise, mustard, vinegar. Yeah. And these are the ingredients for what they call the Big Mac sauce. I call it the salad dressing. For the salad, we need lettuce, onions, sharp cheddar cheese, dill pickles, the ground beef we've already got cooked, and that's it, you guys. It is so, so easy. Let me grab out the lettuce, which is all the way at the bottom of my fridge. Lettuce and cheese. We've already got the pickles out. We've already got the onions out. And I need to grab the meat that I pre-cooked. And I'm only going to use half of this meat because I think tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and have this for lunch as well. So I'm going to go ahead and heat up half of this for my dinner tonight, and I will do the other half for lunch tomorrow. Like trying to use up everything, and it is nice having this meat heated up already. So half of it will go back in the fridge for tomorrow. Now this dressing makes quite a bit, so I'm thinking about cutting this in half. Even though, what if I don't have enough? I'll be really, really sad if I don't. I'm just going to go for it. This sauce is so good. You can eat it on a ton of things. So we need 3/4 cup of mayonnaise. And actually, when I'm making it for my husband and I usually like do 1.5 times. So this will be just fine. So 3/4 cup of mayonnaise. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. Like I said, fabulous day, just a busy day. January 1st, I didn't leave my house, had no reason to leave my house. Did not do any online shopping or anything. So when there, I've got to, get some money saved up and get back on track for my business. As I said, a lot of reflections this time of year, whether it be on our personal life, on our physical health, on our mental health, all the things and stuff. So we have got mayonnaise, and normally that pushes out easier, but it was stuck. So mayonnaise, and then we need our mustard, and it calls for 4 teaspoons of mustard. So let's go ahead and do 4 teaspoons. And I love these cups because then I can just push it out. And for the vinegar, I can tell you this. I normally do more vinegar than it calls for the recipe because I love vinegar. I don't worry about this stuff being completely exact, but it is a great recipe, so I stick pretty close with the mayonnaise and the mustard and such. So mustard there, easy peasy. And what does it say? It says 1 tablespoon of vinegar, but I'm pretty sure that I usually do at least 2. So let's go ahead and open this up. If you're looking at my vinegar bottle and saying that is some old vinegar, just know that I do refill this. I use this small one in my cupboard because it fits well, and I actually have the gallon of vinegar in the back room. Okay, and then we need smoked paprika. And like I said, you need to make sure it's smoked paprika. Regular paprika will not work. I like to add some of this smoked paprika into my chili as well. It is so tasty. So let's get a measuring device out. If I could find one. Okay, and so it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika and 2 teaspoons of sugar. At first, I thought it said 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, and I was like, there is no way. So luckily, I paid attention this time, and I went, wait a second, that doesn't seem right. I don't remember it having that much paprika in there, because that would be a lot for this small of a dressing. And then the other things that go into the dressing are some cut up pickles and onions. And we have to cut up pickles and onions for our salad anyway, so that makes it super, super easy. So we'll go ahead and stir this together. If you want, you can whisk it, and that's probably what I'm going to end up doing, but let's see. We're just free-flowing here because, we're just chit-chatting. Yeah, we're going to have to use a whisk. I can't do it. I can't do the chunks. And normally, I don't think I've ever tried to do it without the whisk. Why not try to fail on Vlogmas? That's today's video. It's not Vlogmas anymore. It's just a vlog. It's not Vlogmas. Day 1 of January vlogs. Oh, much better. That whisk is well worth that dirty dish, you guys. And so we will add our chopped up onions and such, but take a look at that. Yummy and delicious. Let's move everything back to where we got it, right? Put this stuff away so we don't have a complete disaster in the house. I do try to do this whenever I can. And then we're going to get out a cutting board and we're going to cut up our lettuce and stuff too. But first we'll go ahead and dice some pickles and some onion. And we're going to do sliced, there's something sticky on my counter. You guys didn't see that, right? We're going to do sliced onions in our salad. I'm going to go ahead and grab some lettuce off of the head and get it washed up so that it can be draining. Whew, words are hard tonight, you guys. Words are hard. And I can tell you why words are hard. It's because I've used all my brain power in my office. That's why it's so hard. Okay, so we need a sharp knife. Sharp knife is good. And we are going to go ahead and not cut all of this onion up because we don't need it. So I'm actually going to put at least half of this onion into my fridge. Just like this. Get it put right in there. Onions are one of the things, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but onions are one of the things that can get you sick if you leave them out once they're cut. So make sure you always put your onions away if you're not using them. Nobody wants food poisoning, or not food poisoning, but nobody wants to get sick from an onion. I guess it could be food poisoning. I am not going to save this skin and onion pieces for broth or anything. So we're going to go ahead and slice for our salad. I think the dogs are carrying on about the cat. I think one of the cats is by their crate. They are in bed because it is almost 8. Their bedtime is 7 o'clock. So poor puppies don't even get any of my food. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and dice this up. And what does it say? It says a tablespoon of onion. And I am not going to measure it. I'm just going to eyeball it and look and see if we have got it. And see what we've got. Does that look like about a tablespoon? I think we might need another one. So we don't want these to be big pieces of onions, obviously, because they are going into our dressing or our sauce, as the recipe calls for. That's probably pretty close to a tablespoon. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, look at all that was stuck on my knife. That's definitely a tablespoon. I'm going to go ahead and chop this up. Knife skills today, 0 out of 10, but that's okay. Just making this for myself, not trying to impress anybody. I'm not teaching a cooking class here on our vlog today. All right, we've got those onions. Now we need some pickles. And I prefer the sliced pickles for this recipe just because it's easy. What is that in there? A piece of pickle that's dried to the side of the jar. So we're going to need a couple tablespoons. Let's see, what does it say? Yep, 2 tablespoons of pickles into our dressing. And then I like lots of pickles on my salad. I don't chop them as fine for my salad, but if I feel like I've chopped too many for the salad dressing, then I will just toss them on my salad. And you guys, this is just such an easy recipe. And it seems weird just to do pickles and such on a salad, but it really is very reminiscent of a Big Mac. Back when Big Macs used to be good. I don't like McDonald's that much anymore, you guys. I do like a filet of fish, though. And I know some people are going to call me crazy for that. So are you a filet of fish fan or no? Let me know down below. What about the McRib? I cannot do the McRib. I just can't do it. My sister-in-law just got a McRib when we came back from Mexico this month, or last month, and I just can't do it. I just can't do it. It doesn't look good to me at all. And I'm just like, no, thank you. All right, good enough. So a couple tablespoons, and I do think that I cut up too many pickles for that, so we'll leave that there. We'll go ahead and grab out a few more pickles for my salad. And I'm going to go ahead and cut up enough for tomorrow, too, because it's about being easy. And I love pickles. I love all pickles. And these are just going to get a rough chop. Even if they're like half pieces, just so they're bite size. Plenty of pickles. Then we need to go ahead and chop up our lettuce. Get a salad bowl out. Stir up our dressing, of course. So see, now it looks like a Big Mac sauce with those little chunks in there. All right, let me get this out of the way. We don't have a garbage bowl out today. I am slacking. And my lettuce is still quite wet. Give this a rough chop. And then we'll put together my salad. And I am very hungry, so I'm super excited about this salad. I love it anytime, but especially when I'm hungry. And my hubby loves this salad. He was sad when he saw it on the meal plan, knowing that he wasn't going to be here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and warm up my meat. And remember, it was browned just with salt and pepper was all. And my favorite salad bowl is this bowl right here. And it is a Tupperware bowl. I can't remember where I got it. I think I might have won it like as a prize at somebody's house or something like that. So this might be too big of a salad, but we're going for it. So we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and put some onions on here. Lots of onions. Let's check that beef. Sounds like it is popping already. Oh yeah. Doesn't take much to heat that up. And then we're going to do about half of these pickles. Perfection. We're going to go ahead and put our beef in here. Just making sure it's all chopped up. Perfect. And then, of course, this I'm going to put into a Ziploc baggie for my salad. I should have cut up enough lettuce, too, but lettuce is one of those things that, you know, goes brown so fast. I don't like brown lettuce. Okay, so cheese, measure with your heart. The recipe calls for a cup of sharp cheddar cheese. And how many salads does it make? It makes 4 salads. So it's about 1/4 cup per salad. I think my husband usually eats like a cup of cheese on his salad alone. But he does have a big salad when he has it. And then we're going to go ahead and top it with some dressing. And just like that, Marlene finally gets to eat. Okay, you guys, I don't know what else I'm going to do. But I am going to come back and at least say goodbye to you guys for today's vlog. If I don't get a chance to get the hippo tree done, I will come back and say goodbye. There we go, you guys. Look at that. Yummy, yummy. Well, it's 9:30. I'm still in my office, but I remembered something that we hadn't done. I have some Christmas cards. I meant to do these yesterday, and I totally forgot. So let me open up the Christmas cards, and we will go through some Happy Mail. How does that sound, you guys? So let me open them all. I've got to make sure that nobody's address is on the big bad web, because ain't nobody got time for that. I have at least one membership challenge in here that is not a Christmas thing. And I've got something that I don't know what it is from Callie out of Utah. So we'll see what it is. Oh, and I finally got a, that did not seal very good, Callie. Look at, that is open. It feels like there's still stuff in there. Okay, I hope whatever's supposed to be in there is supposed to be in there, but it is open. But I got a card that I have been waiting on. Where is it? There it is. I got a card from Canada, and she asked me if I had gotten it, and I had not, but I did today. So, or yesterday. So, Alicia, I got your card. Let's take a look. How cute is that? It says Christmas is in the air, and it is Snoopy. Love me some Snoopy in Woodstock. Christmas is in the air, and thankful thoughts of you aren't far behind. Hope your holiday is merry in every way. And she says, Marlene, thanks for all your help this year. And this is from Alicia. Love it. Love it. Okay. And then we have Michelle from Pennsylvania. So let's see what we've got here. How beautiful. Says happy holidays. And it is an old truck with a wreath on it. And it says, bringing you merry wishes for a season full of happiness. Happy holidays to you and your family. I love your savings, grocery videos. You help me stay accountable. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much, Michelle. And then we have got another Michelle. We've got two Michelles, and this one is out of Louisiana. So let's take a look. This card says warmest wishes, and it's got a cute snowman. I love those colors. That bright green is right in your face. It says warmly thinking of you and wishing you a very happy holiday season. To Mrs. Marlene and family, I hope and pray that you and your family live to see many more Christmases. Thank you so much, Michelle. And then we've got Deborah, and Deborah is from, is that Michigan? Sometimes my states are not that good, you guys. And look at this beautiful cardinal. I did a cardinal tree one year, and it was so beautiful. I used to have a whole bunch of cardinal stuff. Love it, love it. Says, may the beauty of the season bring you joy and warm memories to cherish throughout the year. Happy holidays, Deborah and furry kids, Mousy, Mischief, and Mayhem. I love it so much. And then we have got some happy mail from my friend Champagne. And this right here is my membership with her. I have a monthly membership, and she sends me amazing stuff every month. And you guys, just in case you didn't know, I do have a membership on my channel as well. Oh my goodness. She does so many things. Oh, look at this. So this is the game. Says, thank you for all your support. I appreciate you, Queen. And so these right here, she has the machine that does this with the wood. And it says, you are valued. And on the back, it's got a ×2. You are worthy. There's a 9. You are strong. You are capable. You are important, and you are loved. And all of these have numbers on the back. So you put these into a bag, or, you know, whatever in your hand, and you pull one, and this is what you save. So I would save $2. So we got those. And then pick a piece and save the amount on the back. If you pick it 2 times, pick another piece and double it. Write the amount saved. So I didn't realize it had an actual challenge with it. And we've got this challenge right here too that says I am. And let's take a look and see. Love this. So this one says, I am confident in my ability to overcome obstacles. I trust in my ability to navigate through challenges with confidence. I am proud of the progress I've made so far. I trust in my abilities to achieve my goals. I am in control of my life, and I create my own destiny. I am a source of inspiration for myself and others. And these have dollar amounts on them as well down in the bottom corner. So a huge thank you to Champagne. And this is Champagne's Corner. And she is on, I almost said YouTube. She is on YouTube. But she is on Etsy. So if you want some of these challenges or something like that, she has amazing stuff. So let's go ahead and open up Callie's and see what we've got here. And it says Marlene and Bridger. So let's see what we've got. We've got a note here. If I can get it out. It was stuck. It was stuck in there. And let's see. I don't know if I'm going to read this exactly. And so let me read this really quick. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read it. It's good. My nose is red for some reason, you guys. I don't know why. Says, season's greetings, Marlene and Bridger. I wanted to write you both a letter. 1, because it is a dying sport, and it's more meaningful. And 2, just to let you know that what you have been showing us means a lot. I am glad that you have been able to close chapters that needed to be closed and be able to focus on what makes you happy. It is inspiring to see all of the possibilities that budgeting and food prep can do for the household. I appreciate the content, and you have a Merry Christmas. Callie, your neighbor in Utah. Thank you so much. And what do we have here? We've got a card too. Ooh, happy holidays. Enjoy the time. Remember to breathe and trust. That's what she wrote. The card says, the best of wishes to you and yours for a wonderful holiday season. Look at how pretty that card is, you guys. And then, is this a painted card? I think this is. I think this is just a card for me to send somebody else. Yeah, how pretty is that? Look at the sunflowers on there. And the initials down at the bottom are JB, and that is my daughter's initials. So that's the first thing that I thought of, as well as my mother's initials. So sunflowers were also one of my mom's favorite flowers. I had sunflowers at my wedding, and Julia likes sunflowers a lot too. So see, little did you know for that. And so hopefully that was what was in there, Callie. I hope so. And yeah, that was weird. I mean, it's like that sticky was broken or something. So strange. All right, you guys, that is it for today's vlog. January vlog number 1 is in the books. Thanks you guys so much for joining me. I feel like it was a pretty boring day today, but I was very chatty since it is the first day of the month. And we will see you guys tomorrow. We are going to have to buckle down tomorrow. We are 100% positively making pumpkin rolls tomorrow morning. I have to make 3 of them. I've got 2 pans. I prefer to make 1 at a time though, just because when they're on top of each other in my oven, they don't do very good. So we're going to be starting with that first thing in the morning. And then also, I am going to be mixing up some bread dough tonight to bake tomorrow, but I will add that on to tomorrow's video. This is not sourdough. This is an easy, no knead bread, which I believe I've done on my other channel, but I'll go ahead and show you guys that because Julia is making an appetizer that requires bread. So I said I would make a bread round. All right, you guys, have an amazing day. And until I see you guys next time, which will be tomorrow, remember to keep on smiling. Bye, everyone.